All right, what occurs like you want to start up now? Zabu. Yeah, I need yours to read. We're going to touch on first. We're going to touch on the ARBERY brother that got shot down by that Caucasian father and his son grew up. All right, it's the first thing we're going to touch on. Good. Good. Please. Yes. I would have to get the full breakdown from General Muhammad again. Yes. Pull scripture. One second. One second. Read it over. Okay, you're gonna ask your question again? I believe so. I just read all the way down from 9 to 22. I do believe this one was an Israelite. This is something I would have to get clarification on again from General Muhammad, right? Whether or not this Samaritan woman is an Israelite based on the conversation that Christ had with her. I would need a breakdown of the conversation Christ had. And I'll get back to you as soon as I get back from the gym. Yes. Any questions? I'm sorry. We're going to get into, like I said, AHMAUD, ARBERY, right? So the brother was shot down. In 1 second, I'm trying to pull up what's on my phone and the computer. One moment. Better yet, we do it like this for you. You go ahead and read off the let me just read the story I just sent you, loud and clear. You just joined the call. I'm Most High Christ. On me. SHALAM. Right, so the attorney for these two white men, these two Caucasian men, are trying to say that the murder of this brother is nothing like the murders of Walter Scott and Mike Brown and Sidney Bland and Trayvon Martin and Eric Garner. These are nothing like those killings. This is not another act of violent racism. What he is doing, however, in this title is acknowledging that America, especially recently, has a very bad history of violent racism. Now, before we get into the story, I want everyone to know that one West I.S.U.P.K is racist. Can you tell me what racism is based off of this title? John. I'm sure John was on the call. No question about which phone you. Continue on. Right. Right, so based on the headline, they're trying to say it wasn't a hate crime. That's 100% correct. More accurately, what I want you to know, what I want you to break down, is it says it's not just another act of violent racism. But in one West, we are racist. What is racism? You have yourself together. And see what you good. Racism is the preference of your people over other peoples. That is racism. That is racism, right? In the purest definition of the word, that is racism. Here is the problem. America has confused what the attorney for Gregory McMichael is saying about actual racism. America has confused black people that the violent racism that has been displayed by the Caucasian people who run this country is what racism is, which is why you had the civil rights movement all the way up till today, as far as black people begging and pleading for no racism. Please do not be racist. When if they only remember slightly before the civil rights movement, when we had segregation, racism made us thrive. You understand? Racism made us thrive. Private water fountains, private bathrooms, private restrooms, separation from an oppressive beast. Racism helped us thrive. The problem is you confuse violent racism with racism. You confuse what heathens do to what God said. God said racism is a perfect thing. He divided the people in the land for a reason. You don't look like, smell like, talk like, or eat like other nations for a reason. There's a reason you're not Chinese. There's a reason a black man and a Chinese man have two separate cultures and heritages. All right? So this act that we're about to read is a violent racism. Do not confuse it with not wanting racism at all. All right? Go ahead. you're not just listening to the gym.
Like the 1930s, because then it came out from the Islamic because of the fascist Germany, because the Nazis, that's when it first started to come out, which the rise, because that animosity became racism. If I could, racism means travel.
So the etymology of the word racism is basically brings you back to tribalism, brings you back to preferring your people, is what you're saying. And that is correct. The etymology of that word is correct, and it is accurate, and it is parallelly congruent with the Bible. The etymology of the word racism agrees with the Bible. The Bible says racism is one of the most perfect things ever put on earth because it protects the prey from the predator. It protects us from heathens. It protects the heathens from one another. Racism protects the races from intermingling and polluting one another and hating one another. You understand? That's what racism does. But America has confused violent racism, the spraying of hoses on black people, violently spraying water hoses on black people, violently sicking canine dogs on black people, shooting us down in the streets, causing high rates of unemployment throughout our neighborhoods, causing drugs and alcoholism throughout our neighborhoods, sexual immorality throughout our neighborhoods, and abortions. That's violent racism. They're violently being racist against black people. The problem is, black people must learn to just be racist. The white man knows how to be a violent racist. As a black man, all you have to do is prefer your people over other people. That's it. Prefer your people over other people. Treat your people the way you treat the white man. The way you treat people who you don't know who are not your people, treat your brother like that. Treat your sister like that. With the utmost respect and the utmost care. And that is the difference between violent racism and racism. Now we'll get into the story of the slain brother AHMAUD.
One of the men charged in the shooting death of ARBERY, led by that a very different narrative will be revealed when all the facts come out.
The attorney is confident that once all the tapes come out, all the facts come out, that the two Caucasian men he represents will be released because they did nothing wrong. They claim it as an innocent shooting of a man who was in the wrong neighborhood, presumed to be a thief. Okay? Because he's dark-skinned in a neighborhood that does not belong to him, these two men presumed he was the thief that was robbing their neighborhoods. Go ahead.
The truth will reveal that this is not just another act of violent racism. Paul said at the conference, white did not commit murder. White, 64, and his son Travis White, 34, are charged with aggravated assault and felony murder in the February 23rd death of ARBERY, who was killed while jogging just outside Brunswick, Georgia. Travis White is the alleged shooter in the case.
Now here's the problem. The problem is it says Grady Grady did not commit murder. When you read the next paragraph, it says the February 23rd death of ARBERY. If this story was written about an Asian man or an African man or a Caucasian man, this would say the murder of ARBERY. But immediately it says he did not murder this man. It is just an accidental death. This brother died by accident at the hands of this white man, is what they're saying. Then they continue to say Travis McMichael is the alleged shooter in the case when they have him in the video. Alleged means we assume. We have circumstantial evidence. We have testimonial that you are the shooter. It is alleged. We don't have concrete evidence. The problem is The police have concrete evidence that this white man shot this brother down. But they're saying this is an alleged shooting. They're saying it's not a murder, it's just an accidental death. Because when the white man kills you, it's just an accident. He was scared for his life. You should all have heard by now, the police have basically a green light to shoot you and say, what, Zakor? Police have the freedom to shoot you and say what? Come. No. That is 100% true. When the police shoot a black man down in the street, a black man, he might have a beard, he might look rugged, he might look rough. When he kills him, when he murders him, what can he say to achieve no charges? Come. He fit the description, but more accurately on the topic, I was scared for my life. I feared my life. I feared that this man would hurt me. And if you don't believe it, you're going to read the exact same thing in this story. They've been doing it, what was that, in Ohio, with the cop, brother. I wish I had that story queued up already. The cop, and it's so horrible, was so prepared to murder this brother. Not only did the brother stop in his car with his wife, stopped and everything, it wasn't enough for him. He jumped, he let off, I think about 30 bullets into their car. Hopped on the hood of their car and let off 127 shots through their windshield. Brother, he thought he was playing Grand Theft Auto. I wish I had that story to you. Because it is the exact same thing. You know what his defense was? He thought he saw him reaching for a weapon. So if I think I see you reaching for a weapon, I can let off 157 shots into your vehicle. You understand that? That is the police, that is what the police abide by. We don't. Right. Yeah. It shouldn't, meaning it shouldn't, in Georgia, it doesn't matter if you're the shooter or you're someone who just proves the crime. If you're there, you get charged. That's in Georgia, right? Drop down to the next paragraph. Now you're going to read how this video, this shooting happened on February 23rd. They got arrested May 5th. They got arrested May 5th, 1 second, and they murdered him February 23rd. That's 2 entire months. These men were sitting at home, what's a beer that like Bud Light, drinking Bud Light and watching, what's February 23rd? You know ESPN. And watching duck hunting. Drinking Bud Light and watching duck hunting without being charged for the murder of this man's mother grieved for over 2 months, knowing that the murderers of her child were watching the news at home, watching Jeopardy at home. Go ahead. Come. That's 100% right. They would have stayed under the law. This video did not hit social media, which is an outlet that lets everybody see everything at the same instant. It would never have hit the link, and these men would have never been charged. It's about to get into that in the paragraph you're going to read. So now they claim they're still looking for the truth of what happened on the 23rd, right? Listen, read the next verse, the next paragraph.
We know several other critically important facts. Those facts that point to a very different narrative than the one that brings you all here today.
Give me Jeremiah 50 and 7. Matter of fact, drop down the paragraph, hold that scripture for me, and drop down to where it says that elder McMichael. This brother was shot while he was jogging in Satella Shores neighborhood outside of Brunswick, New York, right? Give me where it says that elder McMichael. Yeah.
The elder McMichael don't believe he saw ARBERY. Looks like a suspect in a series of recent break-ins, according to the incident report.
What did you say earlier, Dr. Ward? He fit the description. He fit the description. He looked like a suspect in a series of recent break-ins. He didn't say he looked like the perpetrator. They don't know what, whoever's been robbing their neighborhood, he looked like a suspect. So he may have been someone who may have been robbing the neighborhood. There's a lot of maybes in his story. It sounds like he couldn't resist pretending to be the cop he always wanted to be. He always wanted to be a cop, and he couldn't resist his opportunity, his chance, his 15 minutes of fame from shooting down a black man. He couldn't resist it. So many other cops have gotten on the news and fame from it. George Zimmerman, a wannabe cop, another wannabe cop, was able to sell that Trayvon Martin gun for around, what was it, $412,000? If y'all know that, the gun he shot Trayvon Martin with, he sold it at an auction for $412,000. Yeah. Yeah, boy, he's trying to sue Trayvon Martin for $100 million for hardships. All the hardships that got brought on his life because he had to stand his ground against a 17-year-old boy who was eating Skittles and drinking Arizona. And I believe he was trying to get back to watching either the Super Bowl or Pro Bowl. It was halftime. He was trying to get back to watch one of those big games. He just had to stand his ground because he was such a fake cop. He was such a wannabe runner cop. No badge, no glory, no title, no respect. So he walked around his apartment complex pretending to be a cop. And because he made a stupid decision that the illegitimate justice system in America let him off of, he said that that caused hardship in his life. And the family of the black teenager that he killed needs to pay him $100 million. Because his life just got so hard ever since. My life's been so hard since I killed your son. Pay me $100 million. Give me 50 and 7.
All that value would have to bow to them. And it adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Most High. Being application of justice.
We offend not. McMichael said, it's not another murder. It's an accidental death. I didn't offend. Because what is murder? What's the difference between murder and kill? Dr. Ward? Precisely. Kill is something you would say, I killed that goat. It's righteous. You killed it for food. I killed this cow in the state. I killed the cow. I murdered this man, right? One time you can kill a person and it'd be righteous if it falls in line with the scriptures, right? It falls in line with the scriptures, it's different. Killing is something that's righteous to kill. A murder is something that is unrighteous. He said, I didn't murder this man. What did 15:7 say? We offend not. I didn't offend the black community because I murdered one of them. I killed him. He looked like he may have been someone who may have been robbing the neighborhood. So I killed him. I didn't offend you. Read it again why it's not an offense to them. Read right after we offend not. Because he's a sinner. He said, it's not an offense to me. You're a sinner. It's not, if I kill you, if I murder you, it's not murder, it's a kill. Because you don't serve your God. That's what white people think when they kill you. The cop think when they kill you in the street. This is what the Chinese man thinks when he sells you that fake beef out of that one down, rat-infested store in the neighborhood. When he sells you all of that, he says, I'm not offending them. They don't serve God. I can serve them right. They don't serve God. When America sources horse meat from Mexico, I'm not offending them by feeding them unlawful food. They don't serve God. I can do what I want to. The problem is McMichael's one thing. Either he'll go to jail, or his life will be a living hell, or his head will roll when Christ comes back. The problem is, everyone who ever offended black people and thought we offend not is going to. Read on. Slap you. Read on in the read on from where you at. Sin against the Lord. The what? The habitation of justice. You cannot go to the court system and think they're going to serve you right. That's why Zimmerman not only got off of that charge, sold something for $412,000. And just as a sidebar, he proved himself incompetent. And Zimmerman proved, I hope y'all, all the brothers on the line here as well, he proved himself a criminal because ever since Trayvon Martin, Zimmerman has been in and out of police stations for domestic violence and all types of crimes. Since Trayvon Martin, he's proven he's an actual criminal. But he got off of that charge. And then he sold the gun he killed the brother with for an excess of $400,000. Because he didn't get the fame and money off of that killing that he thought. So he had to sell the gun. He would have rather put it in a case on his wall. But he had to sell it because he didn't get all the fame and money from killing Trayvon. He thought he was going to get a book deal and a TV show. That's what murderers and molesters and thieves get from them. You understand that? Every white man you see on TV is the product of a murderer or a molester or a thief who stole America. What do they get in return? TV shows, Hollywood, book deals. The habitation of justice is the Most High. He's who goes to the justice. Ahmaud Arbery got murdered, and it is a terrible thing. And if the justice system in America convicts McMichael, that is great. What we want him convicted of is the Most High. How do you get your enemies convicted by God? Good. By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and being a racist. That is a perfect answer on the topic. Paying attention. Be a racist. And keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You want nigga, I said in the notes. You want, you can tell I don't want you why. You want McMichael to pay. That means you do what? You follow God and you treat all of the other races, all of your oppressors, all of the heathens. You treat them like they all have the coronavirus. You make them all stay back. You make them all stay over there. You want to come in my business, you nasty, you filthy animal. Look, please, because I don't know what I'm going to contract from you. Put a mask on. Because I know you live in filth where you're at. Please. That is how you request justice from God. You treat the heathens. When I say treat them, please have wisdom. That does not mean put your hands on them or violently oppress them or be violently racist. You be racist against these heathens by separating and following your God and loving your people. Right? Even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. You can continue in the story. You know, like, yeah. So look, it's not like, see, it's not as if it was a spur of a moment. We thought he was trying to rob our house. So we got our weapons and the struggle happened, he got shot. It was, we see him, he's black. Because we think black people are the criminals of the earth and our houses have been getting robbed, we will chase and pursue this black man as though we are cops, as though we enforce the law, because they wish they could have became cops. But they were probably mentally unstable. They probably failed the psyche test. And they caught up to him. And let me tell you something, brother. If you really just wanted it to stop, you wanted the robberies to stop, you would not have chased him down with the guns. You would have probably followed him. Let me tell you what people do when you want something to stop. So a little bit of wisdom. You have a criminal in your sight, a dangerous, someone you perceive as dangerous. You'll read later in the story, they believed he grabbed for a gun. Someone who you perceive as dangerous. Excuse me, you won't read that. In one of the earlier encounters they had with this brother, he ran, he's a jogger, so he's always running through it. He backed his truck up and shined his lights on. So the brother, he reached in his pocket, pulled out his phone, and ran into either an abandoned house or a house or like that. Like a house that was getting construction put on it, he would go behind it and get water in the middle of his jaw. Brother, later he said he thought he reached for a gun, not his phone. So that's why when he seen him the second time, he chased him down. If you think a criminal is violent, why would you try to match his violence if he is nowhere near you? He's not trying to rob your house. This man is on a job. You perceive him as violent. He wanted a medal of validation. He wanted, what's the gift for that reward? He wanted a Purple Heart. He wanted to be able to say, I killed a black man who was robbing my neighborhood, who was armed. That's what he wanted to be able to say. The problem was, this man was just jogging through the neighborhood. The problem was, he had no weapon on him. Problem is, he's not in the army. He's not a cop. The Lord said they are blessed with the sword, meaning they cannot help but try to fight in battle and have war everywhere they go. We are a plain man. Jacob is a plain man in the field. He's just jogging. But Michael's seen it as what? This is my chance for a Purple Heart. I can tell all of my friends surrounded by Coronas and Bud Lights and Budweisers, I survived the war with a black man. Brother, if he wanted to stop the robberies in his neighborhood from someone who was jogging, you would call the cops. Maybe he would have tailed him slowly in his truck and called the cops until they caught up with him to arrest him. You would not have hopped out with a shotgun on him. You know what he was thinking? The audacity of this black man to come into my white neighborhood and try to rob me. The audacity. I will murder him and I will show him why I'm blessed with the sword. Continuing the story. Nah, they're not saying whether or not those shots were handgun bullets or that they were shotgun bullets. They're not letting you know because his son hopped up the car with the 2 guns. The father was in the back of the truck with a handgun. He just said he got shot 3 times. Because it sounds bad. If it's a shotgun, it sounds real bad. It sounds real bad that you just was trying to stop someone robbing the neighborhood by hitting him with a shotgun 3 times in the chest. Excuse me, 2 times in the chest. Continue. Meaning before this, no one believed what the victim's family said. What that brother's family said, it was murder. He's a jogger. He was jogging all the time. No one believed him. Those 2 white devils walked down to that police station and said, yes, yes, we killed him. We thought he was robbing the neighborhood. And the police chief said, oh, that's fine. Go ahead, go back. I'm going to wrap the report. We'll finish the details. Don't worry about it. Sign here, sign here, sign here. Here, go back. See you Sunday. Beers. We'll see you Sunday. And they wrapped up the police report. Go ahead. Actually, 1 second, 1 second. One second. 1 second. You drop it out. Drop down to where it says, we appreciate the homeowner. The last paragraph. Now, there's video of him constantly in that area because he's a jogger. Let me tell you something. If you rob a gated community, right, or even the hood, let me tell you how it works, right? When you rob Hollywood or if you rob Brooklyn, you don't go back to the same place you robbed every day. You don't rob them every night in return every night. You don't rob a new house every night. There's 12 houses there. You go there 12 days back to back. That is not how people commit crimes. He's a jogger. He's in that neighborhood to jog. Read that chapter, that paragraph.
We appreciate the homeowner acknowledging that Mr. Harper didn't steal from or said anything on the property. It is the homeowner's opinion after watching the Harper movement on the video that he briefly stopped into the home under construction to get a drink of water from the working sink, according to the statement.
The owner of the home he was supposedly too close to, might have been robbing, said, well, there's nothing missing. There's nothing damaged. It just seems like he kept coming to get a drink of water from a house that was wide open because it was on construction, but the water was on. So it seemed like he was just thirsty from running. You can't be thirsty in a white neighborhood, black man. You cannot be thirsty in a white neighborhood. Understand it. You think you will move to the suburb and escape all your problems? You can't even be thirsty in the suburbs. You can't be thirsty in a white neighborhood, but you're going to live there. The owner of the home said he was still not going to do nothing. But the McMichael's defense is this brother obviously wrong. Death to anyone who oppresses black people. and death to all the heathens who condone or participate in acts of violence against God's chosen people. Give me Obadiah 1 and 10. God. Like violence against our brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. There was a time when Jacob and Esau were brothers. So the scriptures say, because Michael, your violence against your brother Jacob, your violence against who used to be your brother, against AHMAUD, ARBERY, against a black man who you hate, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. There will be a time when you will not have to look at a white face. The white face you'll never see is ever seen. The wax sculpture of a white face, and your grandkids asking, is this the man who made the world such a horrible place back then, when you were fighting to build the kingdom? You'll be able to tell your grandkids, this is the bastard who enslaved your ancestors, your great-grands, your grands. This is the bastard. And that'll be the last time you see a white person in a museum as a wax sculpture. Because McMichael failed his police exam. So he had to pretend to be a cop. Since you want to pretend to be a cop, you'll never have to worry about enacting justice anymore. Give me Micah 2 and 10. We're done with the story. Give me Micah 2 and 10. God. Hey, whoever let their phone off and mute, put it on mute. I'm in Zaka Ward. Done here, phone on mute. One. There's Zaka Ward. This is not your rest. Arise, that brother should have kept marching through that neighborhood. That is not where you can rest at. America is not where you can rest at, black man. This ain't the place where you go and put your little, your jogging shorts that stop above the knee. You got your AirPods in. What they jog to? They over there jogging, listening to Bruno Mars with their Nike, with the Nike track runners on. This is not the place for you to be enjoying, black man. It's not where you rest at. This is the place where you're jogging. You're like, all right, I'm not in my neighborhood. This is McMichael's neighborhood. This is somewhere where you just jog through. You don't stop. I remember my brother got shot down for asking for directions. Excuse me, he got shot at in a white neighborhood for asking for directions. Came to a door. I believe he was in school. Came to his door. Do you know how to get to him? The man ran so fast to grab his shotgun. Ran back, he's slipping and falling down the stairs trying to get back to that door and shoot that man in his face. Shoot that young brother in his face. Wow. That brother had to dodge a buckshot from the shotgun and run for his life because he couldn't find his way around the neighborhood like he shouldn't have been. What's more accurate is white people just shouldn't be living in America anyway. It was never yours to begin with. But since you're amongst your enemies, move wisely and realize that you should separate from them. And where they're at is not your rest. Continue. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction because it is polluted. America's polluted. So McMichael would be able to stay home for 2 months and not be charged with the crime. It'd be different. It'd still be sinful, even, it would still be unrighteous. It would still be ridiculous for Michael to sit home for 2 months and be charged but not arrested. Brother, when he out on bail or something, brother, he was not even charged. He wasn't even charged. They went down to the police precinct. He said, son here, son here, son here. What happened? I killed him. He's black. The house is getting robbed, but he's black. I shot him. No problem. No sweat. Getting sign here, sign here, sign here. No sweat. We'll see you next Sunday. What's his name? Michael George. See you next Sunday, George. Still coming out for pool? Oh, of course, because I'm not getting arrested, am I? No, of course not. It's polluted. The justice system is polluted, which is why Jeremiah 15:7 said the habitation of justice is with the Most High. Don't go to your enemies for justice. You can go on for mine, albeit it should be a lesson that the American justice system has never and will never work for black. Because when it was put up and put into place, you were a slave. July 4th is coming up. You were a slave for July 4th. No fireworks should be popping off anywhere. You were a slave during July 4th. Oh, it's about the cookout and the food. You were a slave July 4th. Have a cookout May 1st. Have a cookout July 27th. Why you gotta have a cookout when your oppressor tell you to have a cookout? We black people, we love cookouts. Why you gotta wait for a cookout when your oppressor tells you to? Think of Ahmaud Arbery when July 4th was around, and now he got no justice. Your oppressor on July 4th is celebrating his independence from his enemies, his type of justice, while you are a slave. Celebrate your justice when the Passover comes. That's your justice. When the Lord's Passover rolls around, celebrate your justice. Read on. Oh, slide. That's the end of the table. Right, that's the end of that topic right there. Any questions or comments on that topic? All right, I'm sorry, crazy. Come.
I guess right now, they feel so scared. I guess they feel like they gotta make sure how like angry black kids. See, like everybody's thinking at me when I ask you how it's spoken. My daily walk. They like they just get my way back.
It's like, say that again, like you test your way back. Right. Right. Exactly. When you walk into your local Walmart, you just see how friendly those heathens are to you, smiling all in your face, crack a little joke. And brother, if you do not smile back, if you don't participate in the joke or crack a joke back, just watch the change in the Walmart. Watch how you start getting followed around the store. Watch how you start getting stared at by all the employees. Like, oh, he's one of those angry blacks. He's not laughing at the joke I made about America's Got Talent. He's an angry black man. He's concerned with the deaths of brothers at the hands of evil cops. He's an angry black man. Newsflash. We are all, in I.S.U.P.K, we are all angry black men. That is 100% correct. And your joke about America's Got Talent just wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny. I didn't come to Wawa for laughs. I came to Wawa for some water. I didn't come to Wawa to hear Helen crack jokes at the cash register. I didn't come to Wawa. And that hurts their heart. to know that a black man could live and sustain and build his people up and be happy with only his people without including them, it kills them inside. It kills them. See, they hate you, but they want you to need them. When you start to not need them and show a hatred that is more righteous than their hatred, you don't put your hands on them, you don't oppress them, well, they can't deal with it. Yeah, exactly. If you're about to pull, I think you're about to pull, please.
Righteous man regarding the life of his being, but the tender mercy of the wicked are cruel.
A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercy of the wicked are cruel. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast. I mean, if you're right, let me tell you something. You got a dog, brother, you careful with the dog. If you're righteous, you like, I gotta take this man. You don't think he a dog, it don't matter, he ain't human. Like, hey, shit, I told you that. Hey, look, I get room, man. He's walking funny because his nails too long and it's hurting his palms. I get room. A righteous man regards his beast. Michaels and Zimmerman's regard nothing. What is the name of the cop that shot Mike Brown? He got a whole bunch of things. Either Mike Brown or Walter Scott. What was the cop name? Daniel something or something like that? One of these cops from out of all of these cases was like his picture was just on TV ridiculous. Like ridiculously on TV. You don't know? No sweat. Start it. No sweat. Give me Ecclesiastes 7:7 if you want. Yeah. Oppression makes you mad. You walk in the Wawa and you just want watermelon and her ain't cracking jokes. Let me tell you something that's real one question. You ain't got to smile in her face, nor do you have to spit in her direction. You can go in there, grab your damn watermelon and leave. You know that, right? See, when they think angry black man, they think somebody about to rob, shoot, murder, kill him. The problem is, like Romans says, who changed the truth of God into a lie? The truth is, when a white man gets mad, he's liable to shoot, murder, kill, steal, molest, rob, murder. That's their characteristics. When you get mad, what do, black man? Please tell me, please be very realistic. Use your own life. Before the truth dawned, what do you do? What's the average black man do when the average black man get mad? Nine up, good. You're mad, you go sound somewhere. In the world, what you do? You light a blunt. You don't go harming other people, you harming your damn self. You see what I'm saying? A white man will make everybody feel his wrath. Everybody got to feel it. 1 second. Heat, my fact is, I'm self-destructive, brother. Self-destructive. You gotta get a black man, brother. He ain't gonna do nothing. If he gets self-destructive, he ain't gonna do nothing but smoke some weed, drink till he pisses. That's it. That's it. You're a white man, brother. You're gonna steal your damn country. He's gonna drop a bomb. He's gonna take all your resources. He's gonna take your culture and indoctrinate you with America. You understand? Like when you get a white man, he just he sets you back 1,000 years. That's the best way I can put it. You're a white man, he sets your entire race back 1,000 years. You get a black man, man, he about to go to the corner game. Brother, it is ridiculous. Oppression makes a wise man mad. Welcome to the Wild Wild. Grab your food and leave. You don't have to agree with the people on your job. You don't have to agree with the people in the bar, the people at the pool hall. You don't have to agree. You don't have to. You can be mad. It's fine. It's okay to be mad, my man. You can have emotions. You can have the emotion of being mad, my man. You can't be emotional, but you can have the emotion of being mad, my man. And a gift destroys the heart. That's why Helen cracking the damn joke. You come to the register, she's talking about America's Got Talent. Like, you ain't got to work with them. You don't watch America's Got Talent. You pay rent. Helen is working there because her husband Dylan said, if you want to get a job as a hobby, you can get a job as a hobby. Meanwhile, you in the Wawa counting your name, you counting your change, trying to make sure you don't get the big box of the watermelon. You got to get the medium-sized watermelon to make sure you stretch the change. But Helen is in there cracking jokes about America's Got Talent because that's her hobby. Her 40-hour job is her hobby. And that's a gift she's trying to give you. She's not even give laugh. Don't be mad at the cop killings. Laugh. Don't be mad because we're shutting down the hood. Let me tell you what the Chicago mayor did before I get back to the scripture. The Chicago mayor, the mayor Lightfoot, went on national television talking about some black people, we got to stay home during this coronavirus. Y'all still going outside. And, brother, when you look at the statistics in Chicago, it's the white people going outside. She got her ridiculous looking self. She looked like a man. She assisted with damn. Life is cruel. And she got her that stand and said, I gotta stay inside more. And it is the white people in Chicago who are outside. She is terrified to speak against that community. Because when you anger a white man, he murders you. But she can anger the hood with the hood woman. Type on Facebook about how Mayor Lightfoot ain't working on it. They still vote for her again because she's black. Oppression makes you mad. If you're oppressed and you're mad, you're not I.S.U.P.K. That's where you're supposed to be. If you realize that all these heathens trying to make you laugh and smile and give you gifts like that, you're not I.S.U.P.K. That's where you're supposed to be. Never accepting gifts. Any more questions or comments? No sweat. Jump into 1 Samuel. There's something different. I'm going to start doing that in all the classes. There's no questions, no comments, and I'm at the end of my topic. We're going to jump into a continuing topic, right? So what I'm going to start doing is, right now we're going to get into is the story of Samuel, the story of Saul and David, right? We finish the story. We're going to do week by week more and more of the story of Saul and David, right? As we finish that, we might jump into Peter cut Christ here, the relation between Peter and Christ. I always have subtopics to get into, stories to get into. So as we break down topics, we can also break down the stories of the Bible, right? In 1 Samuel 8:1, we'll probably just read. We won't read too much, probably like 2 chapters per class, unless there's a lot of time left. So just go ahead and start at 1 Samuel 8:1. Good. That's right. So slide. Actually, if you want to drop down to slide, it's too far up. Slide. Slide. You hear me? Slide. Slide. You want to drop down? Let me get you where you got to drop down to 8 and 4. verse 4.
Verse 4. No, God, look at Genesis chapter 8, verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together. They came to Samuel unto Ramah. Verse 5. And said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Thou make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Make us a king to judge. Samuel had sons, and in a righteous procession, they should have came after Samuel, right? Samuel goes, he can get his sons. This is the purpose of having sons. So that the gate is always kept in the nation. You go, you know what I mean, pass it down to your sons. My sons, y'all will now rule this, y'all will now rule, y'all will rule over this now. Y'all will, I'm getting old in age. The elders came and said, Samuel, your sons, they're not like your sons. You know, they asked for a king. Yeah.
Verse 6. When the sages pleased Samuel, when they said, Give us a king to judge us, and Samuel prayed unto the Most High. Verse 7. And the Most High said, Hearken unto the voice of the people and all that they say unto me. For they have not rejected me, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Right. So he's saying, Samuel, don't worry about it. Listen to the people. Because they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. Because I ain't rule over Israel. But they have to have a king, the way the Ammonites and the Amalekites and the Edomites have kings. So give them a king. Yeah.
Verse 8. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day. When they have forsaken me, they serve other gods. So do they also unto me.
Right. So he's saying, according to everything they've done, all right? One second. The same way they betrayed the Most High, they're betraying you. That's what he's telling us. They betrayed me, they're going to betray you. That's what the Most High is telling us. Yeah?
Verse 9. Now therefore hearken unto their voice. Howbeit, yet present lovingly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
Right. And show them the man of the king that shall reign over them. Yeah, show them exactly the type of king that they're going to get there. Meaning they're going to get a king according to how they act. If Israel was righteous, they would have asked for a king. He would have been the Most High. He would have been over us. You want a king so bad, you're going to get a king the same way you treated the Most High. Yeah.
Verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Most High unto the people, that asked of him a king.
Good.
Verse 11. And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your son and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots.
Some shall run before his chariots. Meaning, he's telling us, you want the king so bad, this is what the king going to do. The king is going to take your sons. He's going to make them his personal guard. Right? So all like Samuel, he was able to just take his sons and do what with them? You're going to do this. Right? Samuel said, when I pass, you're going to do this. You get a king, and the king say, I want him to be my personal guard. I want him to do this, do that. He overrides you. He said, tell them, they want a king so bad, this is what the king will do. He'll take your sons and make them his personal guard. Right? He'll make them be his chariots and be his horsemen. His army. Yeah.
Verse 1. And he will appoint his captains over 1,000, and captains over 50,
So he's going to put them to work. You're going to put your sons to work. Yeah. Right, the daughters will be put to work. It's like we do confectionery, dictionary real quick. Cooks, yeah. Confectionery, they're gonna make sweets. You understand? You're gonna make them with sweets, think like. They're gonna be confectionaries and cooks and bakers. Your daughter's gonna be in his kitchen. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna take all that stuff you got, film and this and that, all that stuff, he's gonna take it, he's gonna give it to the best of who he sees fit. You can't just pass your stuff down. Now he might like your land and say, that land is going to be for my right hand man. That land is going to be for my dream attorney. This part, this part. He can take that and do whatever he wants. He's telling them that you're not escaping the rank system, the authority system that is already set up. You're making it more strenuous on yourself, is what the Most High is telling you. Drop down to 19. No, 18. And the Most High will not hear you the day that you cry and say, we don't want a king no more. Now we don't want a king, we just want to serve you, Most High. The Lord ain't going to hear. Yeah? That we may be like all the nations. This wasn't some righteous request. We feel like we really need a king. Samuel, we really need a king. We have no one to lead us. It wasn't about that. It was about them wanting to be, us wanting to be like all the other nations. Us trying to be African. Let me tell you something. The woman dying her hair blonde. Brothers trying to be free heathens. Brothers trying to act like heathens. Celebrating heathen holidays, eating what they eat. That is nothing new. We've always tried to do and attain the things that the heathens have to become like them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's the ears of the Most High? Come. What's the ears of the Most High? In this case, what's the ears of the Most High? Come. Nah. Give another brother a shot. What's the ears of the Most High? He rehearsed them in the ears. He heard all the words of the people, and rehearsed them in the ears of the Most High. The angels. When you pray, You're not praying directly to the Most High. The Most High ain't hearing you go, oh, he's not hearing it. You see what I'm saying? An angel is taking your prayer and presenting it to the Most High. Right? He's the ears of the Most High. Samuel heard this and rehearsed it to the angel who he communicated with. When it says he spoke to the Most High, and the Most High said unto him, the only person that ever spoke directly to the Most High is Moses. Other than that, when it says the Lord spoke to the Most High and the Lord said unto, there was always through an angel. All right? They're the ears and the mouth of the Most High. Okay? Listen. We don't, we're just going to get into when they pick them and then that's it. Yeah? What is this saying about Saul? Nope. Yeah. You're trying to be too deep, Bob. It's black book. He's tall. Saul was tall. That's all it's saying. From the shoulders and up, he was higher than other people. Saul was tall. Tall as that. He was goodly in person in any. He was pleasant to look upon. He wasn't the most righteous person in the land. He was very goodly to look upon. You looked at him, he was a strapping young man, to use these words. He was a handsome young man. He was tall. So, looked at him like, it's a good young man. Right? You ever go, prime example, you're in a neighborhood, you're a youth in the neighborhood, and one of the old heads go, he's old head comes to you like, yeah, look at him. Look at him. You're a strong boy right there. You're a good looking boy right there. He ain't really talking about, he don't know how strong you actually are. He ain't really sitting there saying he's a handsome mother lover. So he ain't saying none of that. What is he saying? You look like you might be something. He don't know you from a can of paint. You don't know you. What is he saying? You look like you might be something. Man, look at you, boy. You grew up good. You grew up nice and strong. You can be weak. You can be weak. You look good. You look like maybe your shoulders are broad. You walk nice. You walk upright. Physically, you walk upright and stuff like that. Yeah, look at him. Yeah, he look good. That's the such and such son. Yeah. Yeah, look at him. Yeah. You know, it's great. You're just like that. Slap it down and phone over you. Make sure you got a comment. You understand? But yeah, look at it. That's what he's saying about something. That's it. It ain't deeper than that, it ain't nothing. You know why it's not deeper than that? Because we are not deeper than that. What did he just say in the last chapter? If anybody's paying attention. Why is it not deeper than that? Come. Okay, John, but why with Saul? Why is it just look like you might be good? Yeah, look at you, grew up nice, tall, yeah. Why is that it? Why is it not saying he was more righteous than all? He had more deeds done than everyone else. He fit the description of our to be our king better than everyone else. Why is it not saying that? Why is it just saying, yeah, that's just saying that. Good. Based off of what? Based off of how we are. Based on how we are. What do we say? We want a king because everybody else got a king. Well, yeah, well, I'm going to pick your king and everybody else pick their kings. You look like you do a good job. Yeah, that's very unwonderful. Your king going to be the king that just, you look like you. Imagine that. Imagine your leader. Imagine instead of commanding during HANNA, you had somebody that just looked like he knew what he was doing. Let me tell you something, brother. The Ben Carsons and the Dr. Umar Johnson and Barack Obamas and Mayor Lightfoots of the world look like they know what they're doing, do they not? They get on that damn TV with that damn piece in their ear with somebody behind there telling them what to say, telling them what to do, deciding all their moves for them. But they look like you don't know that. They look like what they're doing. Imagine somebody like that leading the nation. Imagine Commander Donald Ken Davis on the decision he had to get. Okay, so what do I do next? All right, yeah, so my decision is to do this. And then this. And one more thing, and he's not leading you. With someone in a little microphone in his ear. We pick people because they look like they can lead us. Martin Luther King came with a suit. He was a pastor. He had doctor in front of his name. Brother, we said, he went to college. He's in church. He wears suits. It's money. It's money. Oh man, this is the leader of the revolution right here. So they got shot in his head, and now everything just went up in smoke. Oh man, he wasn't the leader. What happened now? Because we pick people based on how we think they should be. That's why Christ, they said Christ what? This is so heavy because it said Christ looked like what? Christ was something that was dead. You got it, dead. Right, old people drinking wine, his eyes always red. But more importantly, like I said about Christ, it said he was nothing pretty to look upon. You ain't look at Christ, I mean, that's in Philippians. You ain't look upon Christ and go, oh, I can't get about my knee. You looked at Christ and thought he was a regular. You thought he was somebody that lived on 17. You ain't look at Christ and go, it's him. You woke up and you think that's the man that's standing in front of you behind you that you see before you. That's all you thought Christ was. You didn't think Christ was Christ. Because he don't look like it. Saul looked like it. So we got a king based off of you want to be like the heathens? Hey. You want to reject me and think of the heathens? Here you go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like the sun of the morning. He ain't shining. He ain't walking home and shining. He go, follow. White man walking home with that pale skin draw everybody's attention. You automatically think he's the richest of the rich. He's smarter than everybody in the room. He's done more, he's seen more, he's better than you. You never let him walk in the room. You subconsciously, in your head, you obey him already. You look at him and obey. You look at him and you submit to him. Christ is like he got a cup of cheese steak before you. He looked like that's it. He like he just went on the liquor store. He had his bottle of wine. He had his E&J. He got his whiskey, and he got away cheese steak. He don't look like Saul. Saul looked like everything you would want for a king. He looked like it. Here's the problem. You'll find out as we continue this, Saul wasn't built like that. That's the problem. And then the Lord chose somebody who looked like he wasn't built like that, and he was built like that. You understand? That being said, we're going to wrap this up for this week. We're definitely going to continue. So I go, what's the last verse you read so I can mark it?
Verse 7, chapter 9, verse 2, sir. That's going to be the last one I read, sir.
No sweat. We're going to pick this up. Of course, there'll be a whole different topic next week. And at the end of that topic, if we have time, we'll pick this up again. Right? Any last questions or comments? I know some questions. That being said, in Israel, we're going to be in class right there. We're going to salute. The Israelite, not you.